Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the massive and frankly undeniable success behind a highly engaging digital language learning ecosystem known as English Avenue. If you've ever wondered how modern platforms manage to capture the attention of literally millions of people and turn something as notoriously difficult as learning a new language into a daily obsession, well, you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to look closely at the architecture of their content using their very own data to understand exactly how they've built this empire.
So here's our quick roadmap for deconstructing their strategy today. 1. The phenomenon. 2. Life skills. 3. Daily routines. 4. Engaging the community. And finally, 5. A holistic learning strategy. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The phenomenon scaling language learning.
1.34 million subscribers. I mean, that is just a staggering base for an educational channel, right? But you know what's equally impressive? The sheer effort behind it. They've built up a massive catalog of 903 videos. So this isn't some overnight success or viral luck. This establishes incredible credibility. It shows a relentless consistency and a proven ability to deliver real value at what's basically an industrial scale.
And when you look at their top-performing content, it brilliantly illustrates what actually resonates with their audience. The top spot? It's not a grammar lesson. It's titled Don't Waste Your Life, sitting at a massive 3.3 million views. Right behind it is Train Your Mouth to Talk with 3.1 million views, and a story called Nothing is Free at 2.7 million. This completely proves that millions of people are tuning in for far more than just standard vocabulary drills. They're coming for meaning, for stories, and for a much deeper connection to the learning process itself.
Section 2. Learning through life skills, moving beyond grammar.
Take a look at some of these recent topics. Improve your personality. What is true love? Let go of control, and the power of not reacting. They are just masterfully blending English language acquisition with deep personal development and psychology. And by focusing on concepts like how to improve your personality, they're tapping into a really profound truth about learning. Your personality directly affects your daily habits. Why? Because traits like resilience, patience, and self-worth are the exact emotional fuels you need to maintain a strict daily practice. So by building confidence and positive energy, learners are inherently developing the discipline to stick to the daily habit of language learning. It's honestly a brilliant two-for-one deal for the viewer.
What's truly fascinating here is the sheer volume of content dedicated to this specific angle. They have an entire playlist called Learn English Through Motivation, packed with 233 videos. Think about that for a second. Over 200 videos dedicated entirely to keeping the learner inspired. They clearly recognize that the biggest hurdle in language learning isn't a lack of resources, it's a lack of motivation. By solving the motivation problem, they completely solve the retention problem.
Section 3. Mastering daily routines, everyday relatability.
When we analyze their short-form content, a fascinating pattern emerges. Their highest-performing short, with 80,000 views, is about being late for school. Then we see My Bedtime Routine pulling in 43,000 views, and My Daily English Learning Routine getting around 38,000. They're heavily leaning into highly relatable daily routines. Remember how we just established that building character fuels daily habits? Well, here they're providing the exact vocabulary and context for those routines. It makes language learning feel incredibly accessible and immediately applicable to their viewers' actual everyday lives.
Take the short titled Stop Saying I Don't Know. This single piece of content garnered 34,000 views, and it perfectly demonstrates their actionable, confidence-building approach to everyday communication. They aren't just giving people new words to say, they are actively teaching their audience how to communicate with authority and how to break bad conversational habits.
Now, beyond those short, quick hits, they offer a highly structured, scalable path for reading and listening progression. They use a graded reader system with specific playlists labeled Story Level -5, Story Level -4, and Story Level -3. This step-by-step ladder totally removes the overwhelm. A learner knows exactly where to start, and more importantly, exactly where to go next. It takes what feels like a daunting mountain and turns it into a series of manageable, really satisfying steps.
Section 4. Engaging the community, active participation. Consider this question they posted directly to their community. What is the meaning of didactic? Now, that is a genuinely advanced vocabulary word. But what's truly mind-blowing is that an incredible 16,000 people answered this online poll just 2 weeks ago. 16,000 people actively stopping their scroll to test their English comprehension. That's huge. And just for those curious, didactic means intended to teach, particularly in having moral instruction as an ulterior motive. By posting these kinds of questions, the channel essentially creates an interactive minigame. It tests high-level vocabulary, it acts as a quick active recall exercise, and honestly, most importantly, it keeps their audience constantly engaged with the brand, even when they aren't actively sitting down to watch a 40-minute video.
Or they'll hit them with a rapid-fire question like, which word is the opposite of scarce? This one garnered 14,000 answers recently. It completely proves the consistency of their community engagement strategy. They're basically training the algorithm and their audience at the exact same time, creating a daily habit of interacting with English Avenue.
And they absolutely do not dumb things down. Compare these two advanced words they recently quizzed their audience on, equanimity and fatuous. These posts received roughly 21,000 and 19,000 interactions, respectively. Highlighting words of this caliber shows the incredibly high expectations they set for their learners. They respect their audience's intelligence, constantly pushing them toward genuine fluency rather than just basic conversational survival.
Section 5. A holistic learning strategy. Connecting the dots. This forms their complete strategy playbook. These 4 distinct pillars work totally seamlessly together. First, they hook you with high-interest motivational topics that improve your personality and mindset. Second, they provide scalable difficulty through graded readers to build your core competency. Third, they offer everyday application and context through their shorts. And finally, they lock all that knowledge in using active recall via community quizzes. So this isn't just a channel, it is a highly successful digital education ecosystem custom designed to drive massive retention. And what is the end result of all this? Well, consider this popular title from their catalog, How I Learned English in 5 Months, My Powerful Story. This one alone has 1.9 million views. It perfectly encapsulates the ultimate promise they offer their viewers. By following their structured ecosystem, they're offering real, achievable, and incredibly rapid transformation. It's literally the light at the end of the tunnel for every frustrated language learner out there. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to end on today. Looking at the immense success, the structure, and the sheer scale of English Avenue, it forces us to ask, will traditional, rigid classrooms eventually be completely replaced by dynamic, motivation-driven digital ecosystems exactly like this one? It's a massive shift in how we acquire knowledge, and it's definitely one that is well worth thinking about. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.